HESI A2 Central and Peripheral Nervous Systems. Question 1. Which option identifies the structure with this feature? It directly innervates smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, or glands? Option A, ciliary muscle. Option B, pons. Option C, midbrain. Option D, a postganglionic neuron. The correct answer is option D, postganglionic neuron. This structure participates in completing an autonomic pathway. It carries an autonomic signal from a ganglion to an effector, and it directly innervates smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, or glands. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 2. Which option identifies the structure most important for linking the nervous and endocrine systems because it regulates homeostasis and controls much endocrine and autonomic activity? Option A, reflex arc. Option B, ciliary muscle. Option C, hypothalamus. Option D, reticular formation. The correct answer is option C, hypothalamus. A key clue is that this structure influences temperature, hunger, thirst, and pituitary function. It also regulates homeostasis and controls much endocrine and autonomic activity. That combination is central to linking the nervous and endocrine systems. Question 3. A physiology item gives 2 clues. It coordinates motor patterns for speech production, and it is usually located in the dominant frontal lobe. Which option identifies the structure? Option A, tooth. Option B, Broca area. Option C, cerebellum. Option D, optic nerve. The correct answer is option B, Broca area. The role tested here involves forming spoken language. This structure coordinates motor patterns for speech production. It can also be identified because it is usually located in the dominant frontal lobe. Stressed about your HESI A2? We can take HESI A2 for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. A learner connects the clues, controls skeletal muscle and carries conscious sensory information and includes voluntary motor pathways. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, somatic nervous system. Option B, lacrimal gland. Option C, fovea centralis. Option D, frontal lobe. The correct answer is option A, somatic nervous system. The function described is that this structure controls skeletal muscle and carries conscious sensory information. A second identifying feature is that it includes voluntary motor pathways. Together, the 2 clues explain the role in interacting with the external environment. Question 5. Impairment of which structure would most directly prevent the following function? Prepares the body for activity or stress. Option A, postganglionic neuron. Option B, thyroid follicle. Option C, sympathetic division. Option D, somatic nervous system. The correct answer is option C, sympathetic division. A key clue is that this structure typically increases heart rate and redirects blood flow towards skeletal muscle. It also prepares the body for activity or stress. That combination is central to producing a fight or flight response. Question 6. A review item describes a structure that is the 10th cranial nerve. Which option identifies it? Option A, vagus nerve. Option B, optic disc. Option C, atrioventricular bundle. Option D, doval window. The correct answer is option A, vagus nerve. For slowing the heart and supporting digestion, this structure provides major parasympathetic input to thoracic and abdominal organs. It can also be recognized because it is the 10th cranial nerve. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 7. Impairment of which structure would most directly prevent the following function? Supports conscious thought, sensation, memory, and voluntary movement? Option A, vestibule. Option B, parasympathetic division. Option C, ciliary muscle. Option D, cerebrum. The correct answer is option D, cerebrum. A key clue is that this structure is divided into 2 hemispheres with an outer cortex. It also supports conscious thought, sensation, memory, and voluntary movement. That combination is central to performing higher brain functions. Question 8. Which option identifies the neural structure or cell most important for supporting neuronal survival because it contains the nucleus and most organelles of a neuron? Option A, cell body. Option B, axon terminal. Option C, node of Ranvier. Option D, sensory neuron. The correct answer is option A, cell body. A key clue is that this neural structure or cell integrates incoming signals and maintains cell metabolism. It also contains the nucleus and most organelles of a neuron. That combination is central to supporting neuronal survival. Are you looking for HESI A2 actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access HESI A2 study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get HESI A2 answer key today. Question 9. Which option identifies the structure most important for producing a rest minus and minus digest response because it supports rest, digestion, and energy conservation? Option A, pineal gland. Option B, cornea. Option C, olfactory receptor. Option D, parasympathetic division. The correct answer is option D, parasympathetic division. A key clue is that this structure typically slows the heart and stimulates gastrointestinal activity. It also supports rest, digestion, and energy conservation. That combination is central to producing a rest minus and minus digest response. Question 10. Which option identifies the structure best matching this description? It contains specialized capillaries and ependymal cells in brain ventricles, and it produces most cerebrospinal fluid. Option A, choroid plexus. Option B, retina. Option C, iris. Option D, stretch reflex. The correct answer is option A, choroid plexus. For maintaining central nervous system fluid, this structure produces most cerebrospinal fluid. It can also be recognized because it contains specialized capillaries and ependymal cells in brain ventricles. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 11. Impairment of which structure would most directly prevent the following function? Cushions the central nervous system and helps maintain chemical stability? Option A, atrioventricular bundle. Option B, cornea. Option C, cerebrospinal fluid. Option D, white matter. The correct answer is option C, cerebrospinal fluid. A key clue is that this structure circulates through ventricles and the subarachnoid space. It also cushions the central nervous system and helps maintain chemical stability. That combination is central to protecting neural tissue. Question 12. A learner connects the clues, processes visual information, and contains the primary visual cortex. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, occipital lobe. Option B, round window. Option C, atrioventricular bundle. Option D, preganglionic neuron. The correct answer is option A, occipital lobe. The function described is that this structure processes visual information. A second identifying feature is that it contains the primary visual cortex. Together, the two clues explain the role in interpreting signals from the eyes. Question 13. Which option identifies the structure that carries an autonomic signal from the central nervous system to a ganglion? Option A, primary motor cortex. Option B, auricle. Option C, preganglionic neuron. Option D, sympathetic division. The correct answer is option C, preganglionic neuron. This structure carries an autonomic signal from the central nervous system to a ganglion. It synapses with a second neuron before reaching the effector. These linked features explain the role in organizing a 2- neuron autonomic pathway. Question 14. Which option identifies the structure best matching this description? It contains the primary motor cortex, and it supports planning, personality, speech production, and voluntary motor control. Option A, primary motor cortex. Option B, frontal lobe. Option C, tooth. Option D, stretch reflex. The correct answer is option B, frontal lobe. For organizing purposeful behavior, this structure supports planning, personality, speech production, and voluntary motor control. It can also be recognized because it contains the primary motor cortex. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 15. Which option identifies the structure most directly associated with interpreting touch and position and this function processes body sensations and spatial awareness? Option A, parietal lobe. Option B, thyroid follicle. Option C, choroid. Option D, malleus. The correct answer is option A, parietal lobe. This structure participates in interpreting touch and position. It processes body sensations and spatial awareness, and it contains the primary somatosensory cortex. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 16. Which option identifies the structures associated with smoothing motor control in both clues? They help start, stop, and scale voluntary movement, and they form deep gray matter clusters within the cerebrum. Option A, cerebrum. Option B, choroid plexus. Option C, basal nuclei. Option D, sympathetic division. The correct answer is option C, basal nuclei. The function described is that these structures help start, stop, and scale voluntary movement. A second identifying feature is that they form deep gray matter clusters within the cerebrum. Together, the two clues explain the role in smoothing motor control. Question 17. Which option identifies the electrical processes most important for creating a relative refractory period because they briefly makes the membrane potential more negative than rest? Option A, depolarization. Option B, hyperpolarization. Option C, absolute refractory period. Option D, excitatory postsynaptic potential. The correct answer is option B, hyperpolarization. A key clue is that these electrical processes often occurs because potassium channels close slowly. They also briefly makes the membrane potential more negative than rest. That combination is central to creating a relative refractory period. Question 18. Which option identifies the structure associated with relaying sympathetic and parasympathetic commands in both clues? It transmits signals from all autonomic preganglionic neurons, and it binds nicotinic receptors on postganglionic cells. Option A, Broca area. Option B, the acetylcholine at autonomic ganglia. Option C, fovea centralis. Option D, autonomic nervous system. The correct answer is option B, acetylcholine at autonomic ganglia. The function described is that this structure transmits signals from all autonomic preganglionic neurons. A second identifying feature is that it binds nicotinic receptors on postganglionic cells. Together, the two clues explain the role in relaying sympathetic and parasympathetic commands. Stressed about your HESI A2? We can take HESI A2 for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A student is reviewing a concept involved in surrounding the brain and spinal cord. Which option identifies the structures with this function, protect and support the central nervous system? Option A, meninges. Option B, limbic system. Option C, cone. Option D, lens. The correct answer is option A, meninges. The role tested here involves surrounding the brain and spinal cord. These structures protect and support the central nervous system. They can also be identified because they consist of dura mater, arachnoid mater, and pia mater. Question 20. Which option identifies the structure most directly associated with connecting the cerebellum with other regions in this function, relays information and helps regulate breathing? Option A, cone. Option B, optic disc. Option C, tooth. Option D, pons. The correct answer is option D, pons. This structure participates in connecting the cerebellum with other regions. It relays information and helps regulate breathing, and it forms a bulge on the anterior brainstem. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 21. A student is reviewing a concept involved in protecting the body without requiring conscious planning. Which option identifies the structure with this function, produces a rapid automatic response to a stimulus? Option A, pons. Option B, lacrimal gland. Option C, norepinephrine. Option D, a reflex arc. The correct answer is option D, reflex arc. The role tested here involves protecting the body without requiring conscious planning. This structure produces a rapid automatic response to a stimulus. It can also be identified because it includes a receptor, sensory neuron, integration center, motor neuron, and effector. Question 22. Which option identifies the structure most important for organizing peripheral sensory pathways because it contains cell bodies of sensory neurons? Option A, somatic nervous system. Option B, dorsal root ganglion. Option C, lens. Option D, gray matter. The correct answer is option B, dorsal root ganglion. A key clue is that this structure forms a swelling on a posterior spinal root. It also contains cell bodies of sensory neurons. That combination is central to organizing peripheral sensory pathways. Question 23. Which option identifies the structure most important for mapping body sensation because it receives conscious touch, pressure, pain, and position information? Option A, occipital lobe. Option B, auditory tube. Option C, primary somatosensory cortex. Option D, a postganglionic neuron. The correct answer is option C, primary somatosensory cortex. A key clue is that this structure lies in the postcentral gyrus of the parietal lobe. It also receives conscious touch, pressure, pain, and position information. That combination is central to mapping body sensation. Question 24. Which option identifies the structure that supports formation of new declarative memories? Option A, gray matter. Option B, hippocampus. Option C, auditory tube. Option D, a postganglionic neuron. The correct answer is option B, hippocampus. This structure supports formation of new declarative memories. It lies in the medial temporal lobe. These linked features explain the role in consolidating experiences for long-term storage. Question 25. Impairment of which neural structure or cell would most directly prevent the following function: lines, brain ventricles, and the spinal central canal? Option A, synapse. Option B, neuron. Option C, a myelin sheath. Option D, ependymal cell. The correct answer is option D, ependymal cell. A key clue is that this neural structure or cell helps produce or circulate cerebrospinal fluid in specialized regions. It also lines brain ventricles and the spinal central canal. That combination is central to supporting fluid spaces of the central nervous system.